Hello everyone, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Ultimate General Civil War, and we're going to be playing the Battle of the River of Death, also known as the Battle of Chickamauga. We're into the third Western campaign. We have just won, was it Gettysburg? Yeah, I kind of lost track. We just won the Battle of Gettysburg, and we won the minor engagement leading up to Chickamauga. We are now ready to fight the actual main engagement. Now, Chickamauga was interesting because you can only bring 2 of your corps to the field, so we have 2 maxed out corps, with the exception of some of our artillery, which we're allowing to attrit down until they get to around the 12 to 16 gun range, where I've been told is sort of the most efficient use of your artillery. The 3rd Corps is not fully built out, we don't have the manpower, but they're also not able to be used in this fight, and based on our army organization, this is the largest force that we can bring to bear, and a healthy mix, I think, of cavalry, artillery, and whatnot. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, here we go. Captured message, Chickamauga, start. Now, if we lose this battle, we will lose 40 prestige. We only have 38 prestige spare prestige, so I believe if we lose this battle, we'll actually lose the game. I've spent a whole bunch of prestige on extra reinforcements, better guns, you know, new officers, so really this is a battle to determine how our campaign is going to go. The Battle of Chickamauga, 18 September 1863. The Union Army of the Cumberland under Major General William Rosecrans has driven off all Confederate forces from Middle Tennessee after a series of excellently executed strategic maneuvers. In early September 1863, Rosecrans renewed his offensive and occupied the city of Chattanooga without much resistance. It was actually one of the most effective and impressive flanking maneuvers in the entire war. Rosecrans maneuvered brilliantly. The problem is, Lincoln got a little bit impatient with him. Rosecrans kind of developed a little bit of a McClellan-esque syndrome where he had a brilliant maneuver and was incapable of following it up. You are ordered to send 2 corps to stop Rosecrans' advance. As Rosecrans marches south, your army moves to attack him while his forces are divided. Rosecrans seems aware of our plans and assembles his army in order to retreat in one body to Chattanooga via the Lafayette Road. Alright, so we've got the Vanguard and tomorrow's reinforcements. The Vanguard is going to be our 1st Corps, which is our most elite and crack units. The 2nd Corps will be our reinforcements, the slightly less experienced and well-armed soldiers. So that's going to be our force, 67,000 soldiers, 159 guns, organized into 44 brigades and 8 divisions and 2 corps. We don't really know what the enemy has to bear because I really haven't spent any money on intelligence. So we'll go ahead and move on. We will find out if Chickamauga is more bloody with me in command than historically was the case. After all, I am the Butcher. Rosecrans' forces are divided and march south. He senses our attack and has begun to consolidate his army. His forces are moving down this road. This passage. Oh my god. And this road that leads to Lead and Gordon Mills. One of my biggest complaints with this game is it needs to zoom out if it's going to try and be like, this road, this road, this road, on a map this big. Sliding you manually down like that is not very useful. It really doesn't allow you to gain a sense of the ground. The bulk of his army will probably rendezvous here and head north to Chattanooga. Okay, now we gotta wait for the thing. The Lafayette Road must be secured to stop their withdrawal. Okay, so basically jump on the road, take the road, and block their retreat. And up to the section near the McDonald farm. Alright, I should really just skip this because this is kind of worthless. Our army's coming from 3 main directions and will soon cross Chickamauga Creek from Red's Bridge. Now, I believe the initial engagement is actually going to involve Union soldiers who have repeating rifles. I believe they're going to have Spencer rifles. So, anyway. Blah, blah, blah. And this, too. Alright, so what's our little first engagement? Minty's cavalry is currently delaying our advance to Reed's Bridge. However, our brigades are slowly pushing them back. We'll soon cross the river. In the north, Minty's forces, I believe, have Spencers, and I believe they have Spencers down here in the south as well. Alexander's bridge is guarded by Wilder's Lightning Brigade, fully armed with Spencer rifles. Using elite troops to guard the bridges suggests Rosecrans knows our intentions and may be preparing to a trap for us. All right, so we've got 6 brigades here in the south. The enemy's going to have crack troops. I don't know how much time we're going to have, but I'm going to stack my soldiers all up here on the left side, where we've got good open ground to march through. I am going to have 1 artillery battery. This says 3-inch rifles, but they've actually got 10-pound guns. I haven't updated that yet. So we'll have these guys over here, unless we can... No, my cavalry brigade is in the other corps. So we're going to have our... All right, so let's go ahead and start, pause. We're going to move our artillery up here, or this open spot. Stonewall's brigade, which is in the lead, has Fayetteville rifles. These are exceptional troops. We're going to go ahead and break some skirmishers off here, swing them through the roads to guard the flank. We're going to do the same thing with the Enfield brigade. Remember, the Stonewall brigade has our absolutely best troops. We're going to move the Stonewall brigade forward. Hopefully they can actually engage the enemy out of range of their Spencers. I'm kind of hoping that the Fayetteville is a phenomenal weapon, and I'm hoping that even though the enemy has basically a machine gun, our own troops will be able to counter that with their own superiority in terms of accuracy. But we'll see. So we're kind of just moving it broad. Generally, we're moving skirmishers to the flank to move through the woods to secure our flank, and the rest of the infantry will move forward through this open area, hopefully without being too exposed to enemy fire. You can see here the objective is up north. We've also got an objective up here, which we'll have to take with some troops, which I assume will be arriving at some point in the next 2 hours. It looks like we've got 2 hours to capture both of these bridges. You can see these skirmishers swinging through the woods to guard our flank. I'm not going to send a full brigade through the woods because, frankly, that's just asking for trouble. A fully formed up brigade would be moving incredibly slowly and losing a lot of its conditioning to move through the woods, whereas skirmishers are small individual units not in true linear formations, so they actually have a little bit of an advantage when moving through rough terrain. The Union wouldn't have the same guns as I did when I played the Union campaign because we rearm our troops after every battle, so I got to assign my own troops certain weapons. The game, and historically, the Union had repeating rifles in this battle, so the game scripts that to them. The AI forces, I believe, kind of start with a stock weaponry, if you will. So the Enfield Brigade actually is armed with CS Richmonds, so I probably should rename them now, which is also a very good weapon. All right, we'll move the 3-inch rifles up here. The Parrots get a little bit closer. You can see here about 2,500 Union troops are dug in here. These guys are behind a fence line. These guys are behind some breastworks. Meanwhile, the enemy has some artillery behind their positions, which is going to be a challenge to overcome as well. So it looks like we can actually move right up to the wood line. Another 1,100 soldiers here. We'll move the Orphan Brigade into the woods here. Brigade as well. I'm not going to charge with them. Trying to see what they can shoot at from back here. I don't know if they've got the range or not. Doesn't look like they do. Right, let's move the Stonewall Brigade into these woods. It doesn't look like there's enemy troops in these woods, so that'll be useful. Otis's brigade's a little bit less experienced, and they've got 1861 Springfield, so they actually have really good weapons too. The Texas Brigade has 1853 Enfields. They're not quite as good. Our own artillery is firing at these guys, but we're not going to knock them out just with artillery. Our Stonewall Brigade, despite being up against repeating weapons, I believe, is actually giving better than they're getting. Again, my assumption is because the weapons that they have are very good. Alright, so the Enfield Brigade should be in range 2. We're going to try and... 50 casualties. Man, these guys have really good weapons. I can't really afford that. We're going to try and knock one of these brigades out of line before we charge across the bridge. Have the artillery shift fire over here to these Indiana boys. Get everybody up? Yes, we did. All right. Wagons, move back here. Oh my god, the Enfields are getting shredded. You guys really should be in better terrain than that. They're sitting in the open. Alright. I don't know if I want to charge and get these guys slaughtered or what I want to do. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to isolate and destroy these guys. Small brigade, let's bring them up here. Move them on the double. I'll wait till an hour to make a decision. I'm really focusing on trying to break this unit here on the right. Granted, we'll still have to go through 2 brigades in the front, but it'll take 1,000 rifles offline. Now that these guys are in some cover, they're doing a little bit better for themselves. The enemy also seems to be engaging the Stonewall Brigade, which has troops in skirmish formation, which are a little bit harder to hit. We're going to move these guys up here. Texas Brigade closer. $35, $70, and $40. So we've inflicted some casualties. Alright, we'll move the Stonewall skirmishers back. What do these guys have again? CS Richmonds? Alright, this is going to be a little bit rough. Enfield Brigade's gonna try and charge. These have no cover. Wow, they got pushed back quickly. Alright, so hopefully maybe we can overwhelm them. It was taking too long, frankly. I don't have enough troops here to really do the job, I don't think. Reed's Bridge is now being assaulted by Vaughn. It looks like we've got a brigade of 2,000 men up here. Run them across the bridge. We've secured the bridge, but we've also been routed. So we're not holding that bridge line. Gentee's cavalry's been pushed off Reed's Bridge, but they're still harassing our advance. Okay. I'm actually okay with that result if these guys can stick around. The Orphan Brigade over as well. Both these brigades are retreating, but they've at least dislodged 2 federal brigades out of all 3 brigades are out of their entrenchments. Meanwhile, in the north, we've also taken the position. All right, let's get in this wood line. Lorenz Brigade will come up here on the left. South, the Texas Brigade's retreating away from the bridge. They've retaken the bridge now. But, got 2 brigades coming up. We should be able to bring the Enfield Brigade up as well. The Texas Brigade's retreating into the enemy rear, which is interesting. Alright, attack the... So we've got 2 fresh brigades with good morale coming up. We'll bring our character forward. Engage the enemy artillery. We can drive the artillery off. That's going to help a lot. Alright, bring Otis up. Bring the Enfield Brigade up. We lost a bunch of casualties with really good troops that I would have preferred not to have lost, but we still took the bridge. Put these guys onto their flank. So even though they have repeaters, we've at least got them outnumbered, I think. Well, yeah, we do. Alright. Mississippians are going to charge. You're going to attack. We've driven off Lily's artillery. We'll get them into the houses here. Get these guys into the woods. Aim for the Texas Brigade. Get some cover there. Artillery across the bridge. Supplies across the bridge. So I think we've established our bridgehead, if you will. Pouring reinforcements across here. Come on. Do some damage here. These guys have good cover, at least. There you go. They're routing. Alright, so we lost a lot more men than I would have liked in that exchange. This little volley there, a little present to send him off. I don't know if you can win the battle on day one or not. I'd be curious to know if you can. Go attack that artillery over there. Meanwhile, you guys hit them in the flank. Otis, you swing up here. These guys are kind of melting away. Lost pretty substantial casualties over here. Push into these woods, get some better cover. Two brigades just shatter Lily's artillery, which is routed from the field. Very good, very good. That artillery battery is dead. Otis up into this cover here. Stonewall Brigade this way. Here, bring our artillery up as well, kind of rolling them forward as Napoleon would. Forward deploying our artillery. Additional reinforcements are coming up. I don't know if we're going to have another objective here. Not quite sure. But we've got a whole bunch of additional reinforcements that are showing up. Try and deal with Harris's artillery. I don't know if we need more troops in the south or not. Let's hear Minty's cavalry. Again, they've got repeaters, but we've got numbers in the south. That's helping. We should get a decent number of captured sharps as well. Be nice to have. Okay. Keep pressing forward here. We've routed we've routed at least 2 artillery batteries from the field, I believe. And that infantry unit's lost about 50% casualties, I think. Overall, things are progressing. We're advancing. Can't complain too much. Our troops are in relatively good order. The butcher is butchering, but he's also taking ground. Talking about myself in the third person. Yeah, that's fun. Both those objectives are taken. There's 3 minutes left till whatever the next phase is. May or may not be another battle in this day. Cure all river passages. Okay. So Dalton's Ford and the river crossings must be held until nightfall, or our battle plans will fail and we will have to accept defeat. So I've got to attack these fords down here in the south. Okay, I'm assuming I'm going to get more reinforcements coming up down here to take these passages. Otherwise, it seems a little bit silly. Continue to advance toward Chickamauga Creek. Okay, so we've got more reserves coming up here. Just as I suspected. That way. Looks like we've actually got quite a few troops on our flank over here. Making progress there. In the north, we'll keep pressing. I want to try and destroy these artillery batteries. The more I can eliminate now, the less I have to worry about later. Bring that one brigade south. Alright, so we've got... Is it literally just the one brigade and one artillery battery down here? Is that all we have to take this these two fords? I hope that's not the case. I don't know what the enemy is down here, but I gotta imagine it's more than that. Got about 2 hours, but if we have to move any troops south, it's gonna take some time. You know what? I'm gonna do that now. Just in case, I'm gonna shift the Stonewall Brigade south. I think we can afford to pull these guys. We'll shift them south. You can see here additional troops are coming up here. Okay, north. Keep pushing these skirmishers. Keep pushing this way. Gotta try and destroy more of these units. Presumably, the Stonewall Brigade could advance down this roadway. There do seem to be a fair number of Federals over there. Shoot them! Nice little volley with them before they engage in a melee. Alright, so Hexamer just destroyed someone. Advancing, or at least maybe lost sight of them. Maybe he didn't destroy them. Mississippi Brigade, I think, destroyed those skirmishers. Alright, we'll move our skirmishers up here to take this ford. I don't know if there's enemy troops there or not. Find out. Stonewall's moving that way. Okay, the 98th Illinois. Let's destroy these guys. I think most of these troops have repeaters, so... Certainly would be nice to get rid of some of these guys. At the very least, I think we're inflicting more casualties than we're taking by now. Inflict at least 10% more casualties than the enemy. It says we have. That's good to see. Texas Brigade, keep advancing. You guys come up in the rear of the enemy. North, we're dealing with... Well, Hexamer... Flank appears to be in here. I'm not really pushing toward any overarching objective in the north here. Kind of got my troops hanging out there. Alright, in the south, good God. Well, it looks like it's mostly cavalry. That's good at least. Morton should be able to take this without too much trouble. Meanwhile, the Stonewall Brigade is gonna head south here and try and get toward this other objective. Move the artillery onto the Dalton Ford. And we'll leave Morton here for now. If he needs to, he'll make a dash, but he's got good defensive ground here. So if he needs to, he'll make a dash for the other objective. Stonewall Brigade's moving on the double quick. I didn't realize that, so they're going to be exhausted. Enemy cavalry's coming in behind us to retake this objective. We'll double quick back here. These guys are in really poor condition too, though. Looks like the Texas Brigade just destroyed an infantry brigade, so they'll shift south. Some enemy cavalry. Oh shit, they're going to get our supplies. No. Detach some skirmishers here to try and get these supplies before they escape. We really can't afford to lose our supplies. don't have any cavalry to ride them down. Really, in a battle like this, I need every supply wagon I can get. So I'm going to have to try and retake him. Okay, so they've got... Alright. Stockton just destroyed another enemy unit. Really don't want to destroy these guys. I need to try and capture them. Campbell's cavalry. These guys aren't going to have any conditioning to charge. This is by far my biggest concern right now, is the supply wagons. Don't want you shooting in their general direction at all. Catch up, catch up, catch up. I know I'm only looking at this one little piece right now, but I really need to get that wagon back. And we did. Thank God. Now, just stay on this objective. Snuck some other troops in behind here. This is such a cluster. Alright. Stonewall Brigade continuing to march. They've gained some of their... What do you call it? They've gained back some of their fatigue, if you will. We'll go ahead and double-quick them a little bit so they can get closer to that ford. Enemy cavalry is over here. Campbell's trying to sneak in behind us again. Skirmishers will leave them on the bridge. In the north, I don't really know what I'm doing up here. I don't really have any time to get any troops anywhere else. In the south... Really, it's just the one objective we still have to take, and I'm hoping the 92nd Illinois can get destroyed here real quick. They're almost dead. Bunch of enemy skirmisher units as well, which I'm pretty certain we're going to have to deal with again. Wow, they got tired. They're not going to be able to charge, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know if we destroyed that infantry unit or if they're just running away. One or the other. Wait, their cavalry's sitting on top of our skirmishers? I'm confused. So, there are a lot of enemy horsemen over here. Presumably they've got good weapons. Assuming they've got repeaters. I'll try and bring Morton in here on the double, although we just got his skirmishers captured. Gotta take the Thereford Bridge, or whatever this is, according to our instructions anyway. Oh shit. How long have I had these other troops down here? Didn't even realize it. I know I'm going to exhaust them, but I'm going to try and get them into position because we only got about an hour. Alright, the Stonewall Brigade. There you go. You gonna shoot at your own men? Can you shoot at your own captured skirmishers? Right, so you're gonna move here to take this objective. The other brigade's gonna move back here to secure the objective we already took. Go destroy Campbell now. He's dead. Sure. These other skirmishers, I'm pretty certain, were not dead, but they are at least being pushed back. Yeah, they're not dead. They're just retreating. Campbell's dead, though. He just destroyed his unit. Now, one of the big challenges in this particular battle is when you get into the main battle, it's just the woods are so difficult to sort of navigate your way through that you run into a ton of skirmishers and the lines are just all sort of congested, and it's a very difficult fight to manage. So hopefully some of these cavalry units that we've destroyed, I don't know exactly what the enemy uses in the next fight, but units do carry over, and if you destroy enemy units, you know, their destruction carries over throughout a battle. So presumably, you know, if we damage these skirmishers enough, you know, maybe these are the guys that are going to be in the woods on our flank as we advance in the next day's fight. Or if we destroy some of them, maybe those units won't be there. That's my hope anyway. To, you know, make the next fight easier. Skirmishers over here. I'm going to try and close in on them. I've only got about 30 minutes. So you can see, I don't know if these guys are dead for good or if they're just running away and we can't see their unit organization. We've got at least one skirmisher unit down here still in good formation. Oh, these guys are all exhausted and moving at the double, but I'm trying to cut these other skirmishers off. This unit's down to down to about 100 men. I'm trying to catch up with them as well. Okay, we'll see if we can get a good volley in on them. Well, we don't last to the next day. In any event, day one, I think, went reasonably well. We got over the river in tolerably good order. We did lose some casualties, but we did some pretty severe damage to the Yankee troops opposite of us. And we're set up, I think, for what will be a successful battle, but I guess we'll find that out in the coming videos. This seems like a natural stopping point here after the first day's fight, so I'm going to go ahead and end this episode, but we'll pick up the Battle of Chickamauga in our next video. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. Let me know your thoughts below as always, and until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.